I'm Robert Estrid here at livingpianos.com. Thanks for joining me. We have a two-part series about the Beethoven Moonlight Sonata, how to play the Beethoven Moonlight Sonata. We're going to touch on a couple of questions that two different viewers asked about the first movement and the third movement. So in this presentation, you're going to learn a little bit about how to control voicings in the Moonlight Sonata in the famous slow first movement. This is one of the great challenges of piano playing. Being able to balance the hands is hard enough, but what about when you have two different parts in one hand and you want to play one part louder than the other in one hand? This is a tremendous challenge, and I'm going to give you some techniques of how you can practice that for yourself. This is intrinsic to piano playing, incidentally, so you can use the lessons you're going to learn today for all of your music. All right, of course, the beginning of the Moonlight Sonata, after the brief introduction, you probably are all familiar with the So in the right hand, you have triplets on the bottom and then a slow melody on top. Now this is doubly difficult. Why? Because the triplet notes keep repeating over and over while the long held notes are fading out, because as you well know on a piano, notes fade out as you hold them. And so if you have faster notes, they're going to naturally be louder. So if you just try to play some notes louder than the other, you might not be able to do it at first. So you wonder, well, how can you practice such a thing? I've got a great technique for you. Instead of just practicing louder and softer in the right hand, practice with two completely different articulations. Play the melody legato and play the accompaniment part staccato from the fingers. This will give you control. And if you put the hands together, by practicing in that extreme manner, it identifies for you if the feel of the melody compared to the accompaniment. You can practice playing the accompaniment lighter and lighter with just a little tiny touch of the fingers. And then when you do play it as written with the legato triplets on the bottom, feel that you're reaching for the melody notes, and you'll be able to delineate those notes louder than the accompaniment simply by reaching. It's important, of course, to practice without the pedal a great deal so you can accomplish the independence of the fingers from one another and hear the voices clearly. The pedal is literally the last thing you add. This is a technique you can use in all your music to bring out your melody. In almost anything, you can practice playing the accompaniment parts staccato and the melody parts legato first, then play it as written, and then finally add the pedal. Try this technique, and I'm very interested in your reaction to this and how it helps your piano playing, not just in the Moonlight Sonata, but in other pieces of music. Thanks for joining me, and remember there's part two, the challenges of the third movement of the Moonlight Sonata, which is no easy piece of music, by the way. Thanks for joining me, Robert Estrid, and I'll see you next time.